Welcome to the Setbreaker podcast.
Good morning.
Good morning. Today it's very early. This is the earliest podcast we've ever done. It's 8 in the morning, and it's on a weekend. And
Sunday morning. We should be at church.
I should have been back to church probably 10 years ago.
I never went growing up.
She's only went once, which apparently means that you're gonna go to heaven if you just go one time.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not going to heaven. You were supposed to be baptized to go to heaven. I wasn't.
Facts.
I think you weren't baptized?
No, but I have been to like various churches because I would only ever go with friends. So like I went to Catholic church, which was boring,
you just
but
went
they
to
had
church
donuts
with your friends.
Yeah, I used to just go to church with my friends.
That's nice.
Just hang out.
Yeah.
No, that's what people do.
I mean, I would like have a sleepover, and then the next morning it'd be Sunday, and their family went to church. I'd go to church with them.
Dude.
They realized that my family wasn't going to show me religion, so they're like, we need to
save this girl. Yeah.
If you're gonna hang with us, you need to be saved, girl.
Which is
Jesus.
wild because their kids were always like the most religious kids that I knew, or guess where their families were really religious. The kids were nuts. And I had this one friend where we were in church service. She was Catholic, I think. We just ditched and like tried to steal the air fresheners in the bathroom and
To be badass.
I guess, or just
out.
to make our purses smell. I don't know why we'd steal like air freshener. All right,
It's okay.
We're
I
off to a good
stole
start.
nail clippers.
Did we cut you off? I feel like you were like in the middle.
I was
of
gonna
Oh,
introduce
yeah.
you guys.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. There was no
already
format
off
to
the
this.
bat
It's
talk.
okay. Yeah, guys. So we have Kelly Brown,
Jean.
Whoa.
Hey.
Jean Brown.
Hey there. No, I'm just
Do you have any idea how many Kelly Browns there
Exactly.
Is
are?
there a lot?
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a basic name that I had to throw something in there.
Oh, okay. I see.
My middle name.
Yeah, I get that. It's like my name too. Like Michael Kim is so basic, but my name is Mike Kim.
It works well for you though. I feel like no one can, out Mike Kim you.
Actually,
You're the
I agree because there's only
Kimmiest
I
of
googled
them
it. There's
all.
a golfer and like a real estate agent, but they're gonna die out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
fuck it.
old.
Nobody cares. Well,
Yeah.
the golfer is a lot younger than me, but
Oh.
I think it's pretty good too. I mean, he's representing for Koreans, but at the same time, I have to be the best.
Yeah.
Mike Kim, in my work, and we also have. Speaking of which, we also have Julia Machin.
Yes, Machin.
Machin. Damn it! You know why I said Machin? Because I want to say. Remember
Everyone
the
wants
machine
to
gun?
say,
Machine
yeah,
gun.
everyone wants to say like machine. Everyone's just like leaning, or they want to say Machin. But I'm kind of like, should I just be machine?
Yeah.
Julia
I like
Machin.
Machin too because, machine gun,
Or
Machin. Me
Machin.
and Kelly are kind of matching.
Yeah, literally
Almost.
every other pronunciation of my name that's incorrect sounds so much cooler than the like real pronunciation.
Machin is so forced.
Yeah. Yeah, it is forced.
Yeah.
And like for graduation and stuff, I had to write the pronunciation for such a simple name. It's like 2 syllables,
Yeah.
but nobody ever gets it. It's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So why when I brought you guys in from the gate, I heard something about a Turkish guy.
Oh, we were talking about homegirl went on a date with a guy, and it was this Turkish dude, decent looking guy, I guess, but they were at a bar, and there was a girl that he was kind of talking to when my friend went to the bathroom. He, I guess, went up to that girl and asked for a number because that girl confronted her and was like, "Oh, are you on a date with that guy?" She's like, "Well, kinda." It's like, okay, well, he asked for my number. It's like, that's fucked up, dude. People actually do that. You have no class. You're not impressing anyone. You're certainly not impressing the girl whose number you're asking for.
Right.
So I don't get it at all.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, but at
You've
the same
done it
time,
before. Oh, you've done it
no,
before.
I didn't.
It's like
No, I didn't. I didn't.
I mean,
I've been tempted to, but I didn't do it.
he does, technically he can. It's just kind of like, bro, you're just being kind of a loser. Like you're on a date, which I'm assuming
Was it a first date?
I'm assuming he had no.
No.
So I'm assuming he acted interested in this person, and then to go get some other chick's number while you're on the date. That's a little grimy.
Look, it may be grimy, But the fact of the matter is, as much as the girl is gonna get mad, it's gonna make her more attracted to him.
Fuck.
Oh my god.
You know it's true. You know it's true.
I don't know.
No, ew.
No. This reaction that's happening, that
it's the fact that we're actually interested in him now because of this whole thing happening. We wouldn't have thought twice about this guy until we heard that story,
Exactly,
right? Now we're talking about him on a podcast.
right now he's on your mind. You guys were talking about him outside at fucking 8 a.m.
No, because I asked her how this person was, and then she updated me. But yeah.
Yeah, because he's good looking.
Not him. I asked how the friend was.
Okay.
The friend, the
But
girlfriend.
but see, because now it piqued your curiosity. And if you met him, even though you think it's grimy, if you meet him in person and then if he's nicer, like in your mind, he's an asshole, but then you meet him, he's like, oh, he's actually pretty nice. Then that assholeness that you
met
thought.
him yesterday.
Okay. After.
Well, no. We linked up before because we were all gonna hang out, but then I split off, and I briefly met him.
And he was nicer than you thought he would be.
No, I mean we didn't talk really.
Okay.
He was fine. He was like nice, I guess. I don't know. There was a language barrier. He's
like from Turkey. He's like, Raka, drink Raka. It's
no, he
alcohol.
spoke English fine. I don't know. I think he was shy.
Language barrier. He had an accent, is what she said.
Okay. Language barrier. I mean, that is
Actually,
technically
can
a
we
language
talk
barrier.
about that? Because this has been brought to my attention that some people, I think, have trouble being attracted or developing a connection, rather not being attracted, developing a connection with somebody who has a heavy accent.
Yeah.
Which I haven't found. I've been able to connect with people who have been from.
Okay, are we talking physically connect or are we talking mentally and emotionally?
Or just like a connection in general. So if you're dating somebody that has like a heavier accent, you struggle harder to like. I've heard this from women more so than men, because I think men rely more on physical attraction. So if a woman has broken English or can't really, there's like a communication barrier. You know what I mean?
You're trying to say language barrier again.
You know Niraj Sherry-Vasan?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed with your pronunciation.
Yeah, why did you say it like that?
Because he literally makes me like have to say it. Like I've learned to say it correctly.
He's never corrected me. I always say Niraj.
Okay, well, should I tell the story?
Yeah, go ahead.
So
By the way, he's an Indian guy and he speaks perfect English. He's American.
Right. He said that on his Hinge profile, he updated it. You look so bored.
No. I'm. It's
No,
fucking 8 in the morning, dude. I'm paying attention to you.
He
What do you want me to
updated.
What the fuck you want me to do? Oh shit, I'm making fun of handicapped people on accident.
Yeah.
Hey, Trump.
Okay, go. Continue. Oh, Whoa. Shut up, bald head Trump, man. Okay, continue.
He said that he updated his Hinge profile and he only had pictures, right?
Yeah.
First, and he said he wasn't getting that many matches. And then he updated his profile with a clip of him doing stand-up speaking, and he said he got so many matches after that. And he thinks it's because he thinks his theory is that they heard him they heard him speak and he didn't have an accent, and then they
thought that he couldn't
classic
speak.
racism.
Super racist, right?
Yeah. No, because even me, I know this sounds fucked up, but like when he spoke to me, I was like, dude, this guy's got good English. No, because
He's got better English than me.
Yeah, I've had a ton of Indian friends growing up, but for some fucking reason in my mind, I still feel like they're supposed to have an accent. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I think it's because of like Hollywood movies. They're all taxi drivers. You know, they all got fucking accents every fucking time.
Yeah.
Even if they were in that fucking like New York for 30 years and they moved here like when they were fucking 5 and they're still like, but I don't know where are you going, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, you know.
Yeah, well, that's his theory.
Fuck, I need to do that because that was always my theory as well for Tinder and other online dating sites, because I felt that every time they would see my profile, no matter how if I show my muscles or whatever, they're still gonna hear hi.
That's it.
Yeah. Hi. But then me, I have a deep voice. So
Yeah,
You do have a
true.
deep voice,
and they
yeah.
don't have the opportunity to hear that. So now that I know on Hinge you can post
You have
videos.
to post a stand-up.
Yo, I gotta do it because they can't feel my charisma
That's a
through
bold
photo.
move, though. I don't share that.
No, I don't
I
either.
don't share
Oh.
that I do stand up on dating apps. I'm like,
Dude, I have to.
but I guess it's a better. I think it's a better look on guys than it is on women.
I agree, 100%.
Because I feel like if I if I talk about doing stand up on a dating app, I'm just gonna get a bunch of like podcast nerds being like, "Oh, you really do stand up?" Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, you should come over and be on my podcast, and then we can write jokes together with wine.
The only people,
White Claws. Yeah.
The only people that would like be into me being a stand up is another stand up. I feel like.
No, I'd say
guys still have the impression that women aren't funny.
I haven't been on a dating app in a little bit, but when I was, people were really attracted to that.
Yeah.
From what I experienced.
Yeah.
But it almost kind of made me like maybe kind of want to not show it as much, because I didn't put videos, I just put pictures, but I was like, I don't know how to explain it without sounding like I think I'm cool, but I didn't want.
I mean, you have sunglasses on your head and you're fucking wearing a jean jacket like you're from the 90s. Like you're like the cool girl from the 90s.
Clearly, you think you're cooler than us right now.
Ready for a hot girl summer at
you're
Gap.
the only one of us who accessorized.
Hey, I was like, the sun might come out today.
No, you wanted to show us up. Don't lie.
Right. I mean, fair facts. No, but I kind of was like, I don't want. It's almost like. Kind of almost I didn't want to be like fetish sized. Does that make sense? Kind of.
Yeah. No,
a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
kind of where they're like, oh, you're so hot, you're so funny. You do stand up, like almost just like not really valuing me, just like like valuing like what. I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. Look, using me in a way.
Look, at the end of the day, as a female, men are gonna fetishize you no matter what. It's fucked up. Most men are. It's just kind of the way it is. I'm
better that than my feet, but I guess I don't want somebody like becoming like a like. And
I'm
fucking nobody.
I wish I had prettier feet because I like when people like my feet, but nobody likes my feet because they're not.
Here's
great.
Here's the thing. I feel like you could relate to this.
Yeah,
we're fucking nobodies. Sorry, we are. but the thing is, I don't want to date somebody who's gonna.
We're nobodies. Okay, we don't matter.
You're a little bit
nobody
of a somebody,
respects us.
But I don't want somebody to be like Fanny. That's what I'm trying to get at. Does that make sense?
Oh no, I get you.
Yeah.
That actually has been kind of an issue for me.
Okay.
Because I get recognized in public now, and people treat me some people treat me differently. So it's kind of hard to tell when. Because my level of fame is super minuscule. It's like not even D-list. It's like Z-list, And I know that. However,
I'd say Q.
Just because. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Q question.
Q. You're a Q lister.
Yo, I got recognized.
I'm just gonna laugh.
I got recognized for the first time I ever did stand up.
Really?
Wait, what do you mean?
Twice.
Oh, from Kill Tony.
Because my first time doing stand up was on Kill Tony. I was at work.
Oh shit.
Like waiting tables.
That's
and one of my
lit.
tables was like, "You were on Kill Tony." And I was like, "Oh, that's great."
Did your set go well?
I mean, for
Decent?
a first time, like it went all right. I got ripped apart, but like for a first time, it was fine. Like I'm not burying myself over that being out.
But how did
there.
that feel though? Did it feel kind of
Felt
cool?
great. I mean, I did it. I literally did stand up the next night, and then the next night, and then the next night, and then the next night. I kept
3
going.
nights.
Oh no,
Next
I did
night,
it
and
every
next night,
night.
and
Like
next
it like
My
it
first year-
flamed her off.
My
Is that
first
a
year.
saying? It sparked it ignited.
Ignited. It was the
It flamed her off.
No, anyways, continue.
Oh, I was just
I was
saying
trying to be smart.
my first year of comedy, I remember after my first year of comedy, I looked at my phone and I had over 300 sets recorded, which is crazy because I didn't record my sets the first few months I did comedy. So there were I did a ton of fucking stand up my first year.
Mm-hmm.
It was just open mic. So it was like 3 to 5 minutes.
No, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. Don't diminish yourself.
Fine.
That's
I
my
won't.
job.
We're just gonna, you know what? This podcast
Don't
is
you
just,
talk down yourself, girl. You are somebody. Don't listen to her.
yeah, I know. I got recognized. Have you been? No, I'm kidding.
No, I haven't.
Oh, shots fired.
Facts. No, facts. The closest thing to being recognized that I thought was cool. And here's the thing. I actually get freaked out at the thought of like being like,
Oh, you were talking about that.
Yeah.
It scares you, which is funny because
Yeah.
you're doing a thing where that could potentially
Yeah.
happen. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Which it should
there's certain
eventually happen.
There's
hopefully.
certain ways, right? I don't want to be eating at a restaurant and somebody like filming me. That freaks me out.
That's
or
next level.
following me. That freaks me out. But when I performed at Irvine after the show,
the improv.
yeah,
Oh,
the
I'm so
improv.
jealous. I never went there.
Oh, you have to. You will. Just do it.
Okay, I
Why couldn't you?
Dude, I feel like I'm in a fucking Mean Girls movie. Why couldn't you do it? Just do it. It's so easy.
No,
Julia, look at
I'm saying you
Look at
have
him.
you have enough, like you have plenty of.
It doesn't matter. Let's just keep going.
No, I was actually complimenting it.
No. The way you compliment, it hurts my feelings. No, you can't. Anyway, grab my wrist.
No.
You fucking
Because the way you were like, oh, I wish I could. And I'm like, wait, you easily could, though. You're funny and you know people. Why wouldn't you be able
Because I
to?
don't ask. Anyways, let's
right.
move on from me.
Well, I was saying after my hosting gig there was like a group of people like chatting and like pointing at me. And I was like confused by it. I was like, wait, what? But then I realized that they were saying, oh, that's her. That was the girl that like hosted.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool that they feel some type of like, oh, that's her. But it wasn't, I mean, they didn't like.
But how did it make you feel though?
That
was okay?
felt kind of cool once I recognized like what they were looking at me for. Cause I was like, oh, I'm getting some type of like recognition, I guess. Like it felt good that they seemed impressed, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get nervous by being like stalked or not really having like a private life,
Yeah.
a personal
I think
life.
people who are famous still have a personal life.
There's
I don't
levels
know.
to
I
fame,
think
though, you know what I mean?
you
Yeah.
have like if you're super famous, you literally have a professional kind of guiding your media your media like what do you fucking
like social
image.
media. The image.
Your media image. You have a publicist.
I
Yeah,
want to be successful enough to not need social media. That's the type of success
I know,
I want.
right? That's actually not a.
Well,
but
I
it's
mean,
a thing
you'd have
now.
to be Dave Chappelle then. at
Right,
that
exactly.
point.
Yeah, why
Because
can't I be
everybody
that?
else, they still have to use social media to promote. Even Joe Coy.
Right,
Yeah.
but why
You know?
can't I be Dave Chappelle?
Yeah,
You can be anything you want.
Exactly.
Just believe.
dude, I want to be Eddie Murphy. I want people to be like begging.
Whoa.
I know that's really.
Dude, you're transracial. The whole transracial
Hey,
thing is
Rachel
the
Dozel,
funniest
or
fucking
whatever the
thing.
fuck.
Like that white guy who's like, I've always knew I was Filipino and I'm Filipino. Like it's a real thing. He's transracial. There's a whole
He's like,
group
I just
of people
identify
that
as
call them,
Filipino.
yeah, 100%. They identify as
But
a
I
different.
don't. I don't feel black. I don't even talk black.
What does that mean?
No, you said what? Oh,
But I
here we
wanted.
go.
I wanted
know.
to.
I know what you're getting at.
What I was trying to say was like.
Trying to start shit. What? Continue.
I was just trying to say that like his level of fame and talent also is that people are just like, please come back to stand up. Nobody asked me. Nobody wants me to do stand up. I want to do stand up. I want to be Eddie Murphy. I want people to want me to do stand up.
Then start wearing leather outfits.
I know, right? No,
Yeah.
that's actually not a bad idea. Like red leather jumpsuit. He was like 22 in that special and fucking obliterated. He's so incredible.
I know that kind of
That's
does
so
piss me
upsetting.
off.
He was
People that are
22.
that good from this, like Cameron Peloso. He was like, what, 18, maybe younger when he started, and just like
Yeah.
I've never seen him bomb, which like everybody does bomb, but like he's just so fucking good from the start. Whereas like for me, it like took time to get good.
Yeah, I know, same. But that's normal. But I'm thankful for the struggle because some people just don't care. But I care a lot. I had to lose the shame, you know what I mean? Meaning I had to eat shit. So I had to learn to not care anymore because I'd already been through it all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a
I feel
good point.
that.
I do want to touch real quick on the dating aspect of being recognized, even at my level, which again is super Q level, but there are people who act different just because I'm kind of known a bit,
Yeah.
you know, and then I have a hard time telling because some girls will talk to me because, you know, if you want to compare it to fetishization, it's almost like that in a way where it's Mike Kim comedy instead of Mike Kim, and I can now I can see when they treat me differently.
Yeah.
And at first it was kind of cool, but now it's like, it's not that genuine. And it, you know, and then it got me kind of worried about the future of when I get more known based, you know, I mean, it's going to happen to all of us, like eventually. It's just fucking going to happen.
I guess it'd be nice to meet someone before you like pop off, right?
I thought that too.
But
However, here's the thing. I'm not even at that place where I'm at my peak, you know, because like I live at home because I'm not making a bunch of money. I'm pursuing my dreams. So I'm not overall, like I feel like I keep leveling up mentally and just internally in a lot of different ways. But it's going to take time for me to get to where I feel like I would even want to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
And with that time is also going to come more quote unquote clout. So then you got to navigate through all this stuff. But I mean, it's just at the end of the day, I chose this life. So
that's kind of why I understand why people date people in their industry, because they just understand.
Yeah.
You know, there's not
like celebrity, like Brad Pitt dating. They all date each other.
Yeah, which like I guess some could be to use the other, but if you guys are kind of on the same vibe or like the same level, then there's less likely of a chance that they're using you because they kind of understand your lifestyle.
See, I don't really like the idea of like dating within that much, and I'm sure it will happen, but I kind of like having I kind of like two individuals being in a relationship, right, and being different and having their own and then having each other, right?
If you find a genuine person.
Right, but I'm pretty sure that's not that hard to find. And it's also, you can tell when someone's like admires you for your clout, and then you can tell that somebody actually probably, felt connected to you.
Well, I don't know, because I feel like there's people who like were serious with someone and then they break up and they're like releasing things to them.
That's
and like,
true.
sometimes it's like, I don't know, you don't really know. Sometimes you find out more about a person once you split. And then it's like, you know what I mean?
True. All their like spiteful demon energy comes out. We
were talking about this in the car earlier. How people we're kind of ever changing. We're evolving. So I feel like if you make a jump from it's probably pretty rare that a person you met at a stage where you were like pursuing something versus when you've accomplished it, you as a person, your energy's evolved. You've probably changed a lot. So you might not still be compatible with the same person. We outgrow each other.
True. And then doing this stuff, it really changes you a lot.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm changing all the fucking time. And then you're dating somebody and then you want to be like, you're holding me back.
Yeah.
You're holding me back. You staying the same.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like my last relationship, I was like kind of like, I don't know. The breakup it was the hardest to ultimately take. The breakup was the easiest because my life got so much like better when, for some reason, when I finally, it was really hard for me to break it off or like, get away. But then my life just immediately started getting better. It got easier to make friends. I started to like figure out a purpose. I like got a job, a place of my, things made a lot more sense. I think that when I had somebody there, I was just kind of like leaning on them.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Yeah.
And then that's what makes me afraid about having someone while trying to pursue something is I still have to, be that I'm afraid of leaning on someone else. I kind of like being alone because I have to.
I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
I thought about that a lot recently too, because like I like that thought of being comfortable with somebody, like watching Netflix and then like cuddling and watching the fucking show I don't really give a fuck about. Well, we have to watch anime too because I love anime, but then I get disgusted because I get disgusted with how comfortable I feel in that image in my head. And then I resent that person in my mind that I don't even know. That person's not even existing because I've been there, right? Like I resent them and I don't try to resent them. So that's why I'm like, fuck. Because every time I meet comedians who are veterans and they're doing pretty well for themselves, they went through divorces. They don't have a stable relationship. So
Right.
now again, it's not everybody, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
no,
lot.
I've heard that pursuing comedy, it's pretty rare that you get to hang on to the same people. Like you lose wives, friendships,
Oh hell yeah, friendship.
kids. No,
Damn kid.
but you really like comedy specifically really changes you. And I think a big part of it is the fact that you're kind of searching out you're searching for yourself in stand up, in the art. A lot of comedians.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big I feel a lot different than I did when I first started stand up.
Plus your life is so different like for us now versus like if we were to like be on the road or something. Like we're
Yeah.
already busy, but like, you know, like I'll know people who are in relationships now and I'm like, oh, how's that with like stand up? And they're like, oh yeah, she's like totally cool with it. She's supportive. And I'm like, until you are offered to open for someone and like are gone all the time.
For now they're okay with it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the, you know what? But that's why it's cool that we got these friendships with other
Also,
comedians.
maybe they're dating someone who's sick of them. Maybe it just kind of works because they're like, oh yeah, please go. Get out of town.
Yeah.
I think
Spend every night
it's
out.
hard. It's going to be harder once you're faced with like kind of the trust issues and all that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if I was not a comedian, I don't know if I'd want to date a comedian. Like and not that I want to date one now.
I don't want to date a
Yeah.
But I'm
comedian.
saying, yeah.
And I am a comedian.
But I'm saying I trust myself.
yeah.
But like if I wasn't in this industry and I was like trying to pursue somebody who was, I don't know if I'd be cool with it. I'd probably have a hard time.
But here's the thing: you're coming from the standpoint of the fact that you are a comedian, so you know the world. But if you weren't, you might think it was the shit, and you might think he was so hot.
A
It's
lot
like,
of
oh, you're
women
so
are
brave.
attracted to comedians.
But I just,
They are.
their
I
I
think
think
light
it's,
up. Oh my god!
Yeah.
You know, and I'll test it. I'll be like, yeah, I'm a stand-up comedian, or like my friends will tell them, and they're like, oh my god, really? They get like really, and then I like to offset that, counterbalance that with, yeah, but you know, I live at home. I'm broke. I'll say that sometimes to see
Yeah,
their
yeah,
reaction,
yeah.
and that's still
They're
the charisma
still-
factor and all that. They still don't care, or maybe in general they just. Maybe I think they all, like women kind of just appreciate the honesty. So
No, but they get the best of both worlds because
Bust the best worlds.
fucking don't
Bust the
make
best world.
it's 8 a.m.
it's actually
I will
8:30
fight you.
now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, actually it's past 8:30. It's almost 9.
What was I trying to say? Oh, they get the best of both worlds because not only do they get somebody who's charismatic and funny, they also get to take care of somebody.
See, but here's the thing: I resent those type of girls now too because I know that I'm like, you wanna buy me some dinner because it's a little more expensive than what I normally can afford because you care about me, you know.
Dude, the most
The man part of me is like, fuck you, but
I
deep
mean,
inside,
right.
I like being kind of taken care of in that way. It's kind of nice. You know, I mean, I'm not saying just buy me shit, but I like, you know. Sometimes I like being
we
little
like
spoon.
yeah.
Sometimes I do.
What's annoying is when male comics or like guys in bands or whatever try to act like they don't get girls. I'm like, bro, who are you lying
Oh,
to,
yeah.
yourself or me? I'm just like, I'm not that dumb.
Wait a minute. I like that you said that
Mm-hmm.
because don't forget that thought because I journaled about this.
Mm-hmm.
I realize every time there's a girl that I'm somewhat attracted to, and then they say, "Oh, you must get girls, or you like date and stuff," and I automatically downplay the fuck out of it like I'm an
Mm-hmm.
incel.
Yeah.
And I do that thinking, oh, she's going to think I'm more attractive if I
Yeah.
act like nobody's interested and that I'm the most available person in the world. Like I'll do that, you know,
Yeah.
not all the time, but sometimes I'll do that.
Guys do that
and I
in
realized,
their comedy.
and I realized, oh my God, I'm literally self-sabotaging thinking because that's a people pleaser mentality, right? Because
Yeah.
deep down inside at
Or-
the core, I
well,
am a people pleaser.
On your side, because you're a nice guy. The
wanna be a
ones
nice guy.
I'm referring to are
wanna
just
be an
trying to act like that so I can trust them when they're probably hooking up with other people. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah. No, I see
But-
what you're saying.
Women would rather have you be honest about it, and it will kind of actually turn them on knowing that this guy's wanted without
Yeah.
being fake about it. Like, oh, I get so much pussy. It's not like that. It's just, but I had to really think about. I was like, my pattern is like that, and I literally just realized it maybe last week.
Yeah.
I was like, why the fuck do I do that? Like immediately, I'm like, no, I get scared. I'm like, no, I can't let her know that. Sometimes I rail the fuck out of.
You know what would be hot? You know what would be hot? If you were honest and said, yeah, like some girls, you know, kind of, you know, want to date, you know, after a show or whatever. But if you said something like, but I'm never interested in them because they're usually like really thirsty, and I don't want to just like hook up with someone right after a show. Like I'm there to work, something like that.
I mean, that is something
That's
that
so boring. Come on, be a rock star. What the fuck?
yeah, but like, yeah, it's like, yeah, but you know, because I respect them so much, and I just, you know, all the white knight guy, like type of fucking conversations, like, you know, that fake shit.
I think okay, so God save the women who are attracted to comedians that aren't comedians, but for female,
wait, what do you mean comedians?
They're like,
that
don't
aren't
talk to Mike Kim. Everybody
no.
listening to this, don't
actually,
talk to me.
Mike Kim you are an exception. You're great. I'm not referring to you. I just mean in general.
Tell them
like
why I'm great. Tell them why I'm
they're
great. Tell them why I'm great in 3 bullet points.
You're funny.
Okay.
You've got a lot of depth.
Or they're gonna say debt.
I was like, she's right. I do. How does she know? Student loans, fucking communication studies, bachelor shit degree. Okay, I have depth. Last thing, bullet point.
Ignore the debt part.
Depth. She said I'm deep.
Depth.
She said I'm deep.
You're well. I mean, you're complex, so you're interesting, and you have big muscles.
Thank you. I work on them because when you don't make money, you have to accentuate all the other parts of yourself. So thank you. Thank you very much. I'm different. Everybody listening to this who's attractive. Okay, continue.
Oh, I was the one talking.
Oh, my bad.
No, I'm kidding.
I was like, let me just pass the peace pipe to Kelly.
No, I'm
Kelly.
always talking, so that's not the worst idea. I interrupt because I have ADHD. I'm sorry. It's unmedicated. I'll work on it. I just wish that female comedians would look at their fellow male counterpart or comedians, whatever. Like, think of it as you're working in a restaurant. They are only attractive because of the circumstance, you know? You already understand it. You know what they do. It's not that great. Like, you know, they're like, they get booked on a bar show here and there, and then they do a lot of open mic. But I feel it where I'll be at a show or I'll be at an open mic, and then I'll be like, oh, that guy's kind of attractive. But I'm like, would I think he was attractive if he wasn't a comedian? Probably not. And it's kind of like working in a restaurant where you're kind of attracted to your coworkers sometimes, especially in the beginning. But then you meet up with them outside and you're like, oh, it was just like a circumstance thing, right?
Like when they're wearing their normal civilian clothes. And you can see them as, oh, you're not. Because when you're both wearing the black dress shirt and the black pants and the black shoes, the ones that make sure you don't slip.
Yeah.
And they're the one like hot one in the
hottest one.
Yeah.
But outside of that, they're like a fucking 6.5 maybe or 7.
Right.
Max.
Yeah. Addicted to cocaine.
Yeah. And then there's this feeling of unity.
She's experience.
Yeah.
I have a lot of server experience. Why are you hiring?
I want to. Yeah. No, but I think it's because, you know, everybody feels kind of united as well when you're wearing, kind of like when you're in the army. You all wear the same shit.
Yeah.
So you feel this camaraderie simply because you're a part of the same outfit and literally wearing the same outfit.
Yeah.
Although servers and comedians are kind of alike in a way.
So is army and comedians. That was a good analogy. Army and comedians too, because that's where the whole lying like you don't get girls if you're on tour annoys me, because it's like going off to the army. Yeah, you're obviously fucking other people. Let's be real. All right.
Okay.
Oh God, I've military dudes.
Oh yeah, she's got. Damn,
no.
And you're like restaurants.
Oh
army,
yeah, no, I've hit all my.
comedian.
I've hit all my
Well, tell me
points.
about military dudes. Why?
Well, I've only dated veterans, so I don't know. I wouldn't date someone within the military.
Okay.
But
What, a 60-year-old?
So they have massive
no,
problems,
they just
right?
but they do have massive problems.
Because while
they
they're
just
in it,
did
they're still
their time
okay.
and then.
But outside
Yeah.
of it, then they get all this shit.
Oh my
the
God!
PTSD,
I swear
the
to
alcoholism.
I swear to God, they get PTSD from boot camp. It's,
Yeah.
and then there's something about the kind of person that is attracted to that kind of thing because they're really probably deep down insecure about their masculinity.
Oh, for sure.
They want to feel masculine. And also, they don't have direction. Where it's kind of like they, finish up high school and it's like, where do I go from here? Might as well just enlist in the army. So I feel like that's kind of the move for people who kind of feel like they don't know where to go from
Is
there.
there anyone in the army that comes out of it without PTSD? You know how like Bill Burr has that bit about like, is everyone a veteran? Like if you were like working on the electrical
that's
system.
so true. Yeah, and like thank you for your service. And it's like, well, you literally just serviced the car,
right?
Or,
The but it's like, so like, can you say you have PTSD if you weren't shooting somebody? You know what I mean?
Well,
but I guess the boot camp.
Actually, no, you can based off of boot camp and the stress of living that life, because then one could argue that then children can't have PTSD, but children do get PTSD based off of the home, because it's post-traumatic stress disorder. It's high levels of stress where your body's in constant fight or flight.
A lot of the people who go into the military had PTSD before they went in from maybe abusive homes,
and it gets worse.
Or maybe neglected,
and then basically what the military does is it kind of decides your life for you. It decides your living situation. It decides the job you're on. It's so you don't have to do that. You don't have to decide for yourself.
Right.
The only thing you had to do is sign the fuck up and then go through brutal physical training, and then a lot of just abuse. And I don't know. I don't know why anyone would want to do that. But should we try it for funsies?
For funsies.
Let's just spend the next 4 years.
We feel horrible. Make us laugh.
In a contract.
Yeah.
I mean, that was us signing up for comedy, right? Do you think bombing gives us PTSD? Do you think we like do you think
on stage?
Do you think we have some deep-seated trauma from that? We just blow it off because we like laugh at everything suddenly, and then we're just, I don't know.
Not for me. For me, I mean, at first, when it made me want to quit every time, and it made me question my whole existence. But now I pride myself on how quickly I either recover from it, or just the fact that it doesn't even affect me at all, depending on the situation.
Yeah. But what does it say to like? Because in my head, I'm like, that's a massive fear people have. Like that's one of the most terrifying things that could happen to a lot of people.
So true.
Is a whole room of people being like, nah, I don't fuck with this person. And you're standing there with a microphone. Everyone's
speaking,
looking
right?
at you. Yeah.
Yeah. They say that's a bigger fear than death.
Yeah. And then we just do that knowing it's going to happen to us repeatedly.
Yeah. But it's so crazy how people have different fears or anxieties, because like people tell me that all the time. They're like, wait, do you ever like bomb? And I'm like, yeah, of course I do. And they're like, I could never do that.
They always say, I could never do that.
Yeah.
Always for verbatim. Oh my God, I could never do that.
But I'm like, there's so
That's
many
what Trump
things.
said. He literally does that.
Oh my God, I could never do that.
But Trump doesn't bomb.
That's what he said when they tried to enlist him. He was like, I can never do that.
Does Trump bomb? Has Trump bombed?
I don't know. But
He's so confident when he says stuff. I don't
just
think
YouTube it.
He's
Trump
so-
bombing.
but that's how it should be. Even when you're bombing, you should be like, yo, I'm with the bomb.
yeah.
I'm here, I'm bombing whichever way that I want to do. This is how I have to live my life.
Anyways, let's move on.
Well, I was just saying there's so many things I could never do.
Did that sound like Trump at the end?
No.
Yeah, kinda.
It was too nasally, huh?
It was too nasal.
Fuck.
Better than I
There's
could
gonna
do.
be a couple of
Okay, I'm done. Let's stop.
I could never.
It's not even cool to do it anymore. It was cool when he was in office. All the SNL and everybody was doing it.
Too many people can do it now.
Too many people did it, so it's not
Yeah.
even funny.
Yeah.
It's not even unique.
I see like chicks doing it. Like
Oh, I could
proper.
do it. I
They're
could
so
do it.
you
They
can
do it
do it
well?
too.
Girls do it well?
Yeah, girls
Trump's
do it
accent?
well.
I mean,
yeah,
in person.
not me. I don't.
I would love
You'd
to
have
see
to give
that.
me something to say.
Um,
I get nervous on the
grab her
spot.
by the pussy.
Wait, how did he say it though? Because I like to do the actual thing. When you have a lot of money, you can do whatever you want.
You got to do
You can
the.
grab him by the pussy. That wasn't good.
I wanted to be nice by not saying anything.
It was bad. It was bad.
It was endearing.
Look, okay.
You got the finger down.
Yeah, get your finger down.
She's a nasty woman. Okay.
Yeah.
A nasty woman.
That was you have the like breath work right.
I do. I'm better with mannerisms.
Yeah.
I need to work on voices.
I feel like
but the
people
breath
never
work
really
is right,
did
and
Obama.
that's the
I can't do it. You
even
can
though
do Obama.
even though Obama was in office for 8 years, I feel like not that many people did his impression. But when
I
Trump,
feel
went
like
up,
I saw a lot of Obama.
Really?
Yeah.
like
Fred Armisen.
Maybe
White
it's
people doing
maybe
it?
it's yeah, but I feel like I saw a lot of Obama. Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people did his impression. It's funny how distinct a president's like. Well, I mean, Trump always sounded like a whack job, I guess.
I mean, everybody.
Why
has
does somebody talk
unique
like
voice.
that? I don't get it. But I liked Obama's voice.
Yeah,
Obama's
I liked-
sexy.
I-
There's
yeah,
not
I
like
know.
one person who's like, nah.
it's like,
Like, he's hot.
It's deep. It gets a little deeper and a little. Now, there's been a couple different things
Yeah,
that we need to
there
talk
we go.
about. The first thing is who's gonna be the next president?
Whoa.
Maybe Keanu
Pause.
Reeves, maybe Chinese person. I don't know, but there's gonna be somebody who's gonna suck my dick.
And it's gonna be Kelly.
It's gonna be Kelly is like,
Thank you, Mr. President.
there's like, oh no, tell me a joke, bitch.
Dude, Obama's so hot.
He's got swag.
He's got fucking swag.
swag.
And he's like he's like all
play
obsessed
basketball.
with his wife. It's so cute.
Dude, if he didn't have a wife, he would get so much pussy. Like
Oh,
he needs
yeah.
a wife as a president. But if he
But I
wasn't,
feel
oh,
like
man.
some people are just good at. I'm not accusing Obama of everything. They are a beautiful family. But some people are good at controlling their image.
Yeah.
Dude, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm almost more concerned because I always think of like if people seem like they're doing really well or they put that out there, then I'm like, oh, you better look out for them.
The
If
opposite
you're
is true.
constantly posting how in love you are,
Right.
like obsessively, there's like, I don't think they do that, but
No,
there's
they're-
some couples who are obsessively posting that they're kissing all the time. I'm like,
There's a good
Y'all are
chance
toxic,
things
yeah.
are not.
or one of you is cheating. But you want to have this image that you guys.
But I
are
feel like
great.
if people, because an image that's like portrayed,
Yeah.
how people are perceived by the public versus what their private life might look like.
yeah.
Because the opposite. You were saying about the opposite is very true. Actually, that's so. If a family always seems too perfect, if they always seem like everything's going well, a lot of times the opposite is very true. And that's with
Yeah.
anything. The opposite of how a person acts is usually true. If it's on the extreme end, if
Yes,
it seems too nice,
extreme.
like way too nice.
Yeah, they're.
That's
fucked
why
up
every time
inside.
girls date these guys, they're like, oh, he was so nice. He was so, he opened doors. He did everything. He was quote, perfect.
Right.
And then he changed because he's the nice guy is the fake guy.
Yeah.
He's not being honest. He's not really saying what he fucking feels. So then it kind of builds up into this resentment, and then then he like implodes and takes it out in this crazy way. So he's actually a very angry individual.
Yeah. I mean, my probably most toxic ex-boyfriend, everyone liked because he was so charismatic. He was so charismatic. And also, even, like, I was even confused because when I was with him, he was charismatic and charming and fun to be around. And also, like, had gestures of, being... Like, my mom still likes him, you know what I mean, just because like he bought her flowers. He seemed on the outside like such a great boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then even to me in person, it wouldn't get like messed up until I would not be around him. And that's how he would kind of isolate me from the people in my life. Whereas if I was out with friends, he would pick fights with me, like over text message, or if I was home, going to bed, he would like
When he felt out of control.
right, basically. Because when I was with him is when things were fine.
Right.
Because like I
He had
couldn't be
control.
doing anything. I couldn't be doing anything that he didn't really like. It was when I was away from him that he was just so paranoid about everything. And he would,
He would start fights.
right.
And then he
pick
would
fights.
feel
And then
cared for
outwardly,
when
I'd
you would
look
come
like a mess
when you would
because
come
I'm-
back, and you would console him to him because he's putting all these obstacles in the way and causing drama. In his mind, you care about him as long as you're willing to eat shit and
Yeah.
continue to go back to him. Because I did that a lot actually. That's a thing that I realized that I did in my. Granted, the last relationship was crazy, and I didn't really know myself then, and it was fucking nuts. But I did that too because I had massive abandonment issues mixed with I didn't know what was normal. Plus the fact that she did fuck another dude, like basically, well, before we started the relationship, she fucked a guy in the house, but acted like she didn't.
Wow.
When I was waiting for her to come out of the bathroom. Yeah.
What?
See, that's shocking to me because I feel like you. No, it's not your fault at all. But I'm just surprised because I feel like if you were in a relationship, which you probably learned from this, obviously it's been some time, but I just feel like you would be in a very healthy relationship. Was that like one of your first?
That was the most, like, I guess, quote unquote,
Serious?
legitimate, serious one. But I basically simped over her because she was like the hottest girl I was ever with, and then I was so broken at the time and depressed. I was like, why would a girl like that's that hot want to date somebody like me who's got no job prospects, who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, who's living at home? I'm granted I moved back home right now, but it's for a reason. I know what I'm fucking doing. But it was it was crazy. It was great. It was fucking crazy. But that's because I mean now if a girl did anything remotely close to that, I'd be fucking done. But yeah,
isn't it crazy how like sometimes your eyes think that you like somebody more than you do? Because I've dated guys in the past that like are my like physical type, and I think that I like them so much, but I'm just blinded by like the physical attraction.
Yeah.
I'm not actually that into them. It's just like the physicalness that I'm like obsessing over.
Yeah, you have to like who they are. You have to actually like sum this person up and like what are their values?
Yeah.
And do I like that? Because
Well, I've talked about that on your last episode because now I'm not as into the looks that I
Chads.
used to be. Yeah.
buff white guys who fucking flip you around.
well, that was the thing. I would date those guys, and I just remember like my first boyfriend was tall and attractive and like built and funny and fun to be around. So no one ever wondered why I was with him. Everyone's like, obviously.
Yeah.
But until like I was driving to him to his DUI class, and his DUI teacher was like, why are you with this guy? Like that was the first time somebody was like, maybe you could do better.
His DUI teacher, how funny.
Not that I'm like, on thinking I'm too good for that person, but then I deserved a lot better than I was accepting for myself, because I was sort of blinded by the grand gestures and the where I was like, well, what about this guy and his values? I'm like, who is he? And does this person add value to my life, or is he kind of bringing me down?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like even though we're conscious of that, there's still a part of us which is very strong, this instinctual thing that still wants, that physically attractive person that fulfills us in those like animalistic desirable ways, and then trying to find in combination of that with the values and the nice internal stuff. That's where it gets tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
No, it's not easy. That's for sure. But
Well, you went to a mountain recently.
Yes,
A
let's
mountain?
talk about
Yeah, you went to a mountain.
Bear Mountain.
Big Bear Mountain.
I love how I was in Big Bear the last time I was on your podcast.
You were.
And I get.
I
She
think it's destiny.
regularly goes to Big Bear to kind of like just get a clear mind, right? That's where I've got trauma.
Was it? That's where you were abused?
No, it's where I snapped my
Damn, you
my
went
forearm.
straight to that.
Oh, that trauma. I'm sorry.
Oh, somebody touched your knee without permission? Is that what? So because you fucked your body up? Did you break, or is that how you?
Yeah, that's where I broke my arm.
Your arm? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there a scar
I
on
think
both
I gotta
sides?
go back. I gotta visit it, get it clear. Yeah, there's a scar on both sides.
Yeah, it's not that noticeable. It's
Yeah, this one healed up really good, which is weird because
Yeah.
when I saw the stitches, I was like, "Yikes, that's a long one," but it healed up.
Hey,
so
are
it's
your
not-
feet really that fucked up? I couldn't. I was like, "Is your feet?" Because
like,
you said
I wanna
that, and I was
see
trying
it.
to, I was trying to see your
mentioned
feet. I
it.
was like, I can't tell.
Well, I mean, because I'm on them a lot. I don't get them pedicured regularly. I just don't. I swell in my
Can
feet.
you take off one sock? I just need to see.
Oh my.
No, this is not a sexual thing. I have to see. Like, what the fuck? Can I take a photo of it?
They
Can you
actually
take off your
like they don't look that bad right now, but see how they're kind of. I just don't
You have
have great.
strong looking feet.
You actually
Yeah,
have
no,
nice
I'm
feet,
I'm
yeah.
like a sturdy girl.
Like if you did
I'm,
Muay Thai,
like, dense.
you could knock somebody.
I know.
Dude, you have fucking. What? Yeah, she does have solid feet.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my God. Speaking of feet, I've always been a little.
It doesn't mean that
insecure.
they're ugly, by the way. That's not that means. They just look like powerful, like good genetics.
I've always been insecure about my feet, kind of.
My feet should enlist.
That's good. I fucking volunteered at an elementary school for community service hours to graduate high school when I was like 15. You know how you had to get that? You have to. I was like a teacher's assistant or something.
Okay.
You know how you have to get like a certain amount of hours.
Yeah.
So I volunteered at this summer school for like elementary school kids, and I was like 15, and I wore flip flops, and this little boy, this like first grader, was like, "You have hair on your toes." And I was like, all right, never wearing open toe shoes again. Like, actually, low-key, I don't wear open toe shoes. He fucked me up.
Well, that's the thing. People shave the tops of their toes, and I was really tardy to that party until I like looked, and I was like, "Wow, those are like long ass hairs on my toe." I get it on my only my right toe. I think I only get the like
big
long.
toe?
Yeah, the big toe. I only
Just
get
one long one.
No, I get like I just have one hairy toe, and the other one doesn't grow. It's same with my armpits. One of my armpits gets hairy. The other one doesn't grow that much hair, but one of them gets hairy. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is it the same side as your foot?
I need to
That gets
like
hair?
think it through because I don't.
No, think about it. I want to like work this out.
Is your right boob bigger? My right boob's bigger than the left.
Wait,
No,
you're
yeah,
skipping
but that's
steps.
They say that, yeah.
Wait a minute. So your right boob's bigger than your left. Is your right armpit hairier than your left armpit?
I think my right armpit is the hairy one,
And then is your right foot the hairier?
and I think my right foot
Yo,
is
your
the
right
hairy.
side. I know you're right-handed.
I am right-handed.
You.
Are you discovering why this is?
I don't know. You're dominant right side. Everything
Right.
dominant.
Everything. Hair growth.
You fuck on the right side.
Yeah. You only spoon right side.
That's interesting. I wonder which nipple's hairier.
Dude, I am for real like Zoolander though. Like I can't turn left.
I
like
love
I
what
can't
you did
move
with your
left.
mouth after I said that because I just pictured like
What did she do?
What did I do?
you
There's
just went like there was hair in your mouth, and I was like, what were you thinking of?
no, there was something.
Did you forget to swallow your spit? Because I do that
I
sometimes.
taste
I'm like,
something in it. I think I forgot to
Oh.
choose something. So speaking of Harry, sorry, this is random, but it was
Harry.
about Obama. It made me think of it. I weirdly I've never been attracted to Prince Harry until the Meghan Markle interview. Did you guys see that?
No. What happened?
Oh, he was
Because he fell in
so
love with
hot
who
in
he
it.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
What made him hot in that interview?
He was just like fucking standing up for his girl. It was dope.
But that's one of those things where like they were being perceived by the world as one way, like they were kind of looked at in a negative light, and it was almost just because the media was promoting an image that wasn't that great until they decided to come forward and admit to like they talked
His
about where the
family
prob-
wasn't even protecting
Right.
them. Yeah.
Where it's like
I mean,
I
didn't they
feel
kick
like
him out?
William and
The
Kate
family?
always looked perfect, and then
Right.
you know,
And that's what was dope about, I'm getting chills. That was what was dope about him coming out, is because at first I kind of was on the train of like, well, if y'all don't want to be famous, why are you doing an interview with Oprah? Like you're kind of like, it kind of was, I thought it was kind of almost sketchy on Meghan Markle's part. But then once I actually listened to the interview, I was like, oh no, this is dope. This is dope. Because they're trying to like normalize their lives by saying this shit isn't normal. It's actually really damaging to your mental health to like try and be perfect all the time and perceive this perfect image. And then they also touched on the racism, which the family was just letting happen. But then he was like, oh no, I'm out. It was dope. I was like, all right, I need a man like that.
Right.
I mean,
I wanna
a man that just stands up for you.
I know it's not that hard to
That
find.
says a lot
right?
about your dating past.
I want
fucking bare
I
minimum.
love
Yeah,
how
you're
you're
right.
like I love how you're like I just want a man who like turns his back on his whole family for me.
Yeah.
No, but like I just I don't know. It just made him hot. It
Hey,
made
but
him
but you
hot.
know what though? I can get that because just because they're family doesn't mean that the way they think is correct.
Right, no.
And they weren't even on his side.
Also,
right?
more power to the people who can do that because that
Yeah.
takes a lot of strength to be like,
Exactly.
I don't agree with these people and their values, even though this
Yeah.
this is the world that raised me.
Well, what I love is that he's not ignoring the issue, which they are doing. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about that on our last podcast episode because just because you're not like blatantly racist, it's still really fucking harmful that you don't care. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So for him to like be like, no, the fact that y'all don't care, like I'm out.
That's what I call.
Silence is violence.
I was at a party. You were there. I don't know if you remember it, but like we were talking about assault because we were talking about comedy and then all the issues that have come up recently in the past few years of people getting canceled, and we were discussing it because a girl and I had a similar situation with a comic. Nobody anyone knows, by the way, just a regular old creep. if he gets famous, I'll let you know. Okay.
Well, comics know of him, but
Yeah,
like,
comics
yeah.
know of him. So we were kind of talking about assault, and then this guy goes, "Oh, this is where I just kind of like I don't know," and I was like, "Yeah, you're also the problem."
Yeah.
Because it's like you don't even have an opinion on it. It's
He
it's
said
those guys
I
who are-
don't know what he thinks about it, or he said I don't know.
He tapped
about
out of the
story.
conversation. Basically, he expressed like, "Oh, I'm tapped out of this conversation. I'm not going to take part
Oh, I
because
see.
he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to like step on anyone's toes or say the wrong thing." It's like you're that guy who's like, "Well, I don't know anyone who's assaulted people." Yeah, you do. You just choose to like turn out because you don't want to express you're a pussy. You don't have an opinion.
Well,
because you don't want to.
until that person actually gets like really taken down, canceled wise, then people are just kind of ignore it.
This whole thing grosses me out because I wish people would just I feel like we all have, and we even have this problem where we're just so afraid of saying the wrong thing that we talked about it on a podcast. We had a pretty neutral outlook on it, but we were talking about the Kobe Bryant rape case. But then we like overthink it where it's like, oh, that's going to piss somebody off. We don't want to piss anybody off because we want everyone to like us. But it's like, fuck that. Mm-hmm. Dude, fuck everyone liking you.
Yeah.
Like anyone when Whitney Dalia was her good friend. And when this all came out, everyone was pressing her to like take a side or say something about it. And she did. She went like, I'm not going to be his friend anymore. And then everyone,
I didn't know that.
And everyone bashed her for that. And they're like, stick to your own. Like, what? Why wouldn't you have your friends back? And it's like, literally nobody can do no right anyways. No one can do any right anyways.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why are we protecting shitty people?
Right.
No, but see, that's a
Not
very
that
similar
Kobe
thing.
Bryant was a shit. I
Yeah,
didn't
no.
mean that.
Yeah.
But like, so I feel like I burned. This is one of the times I feel like I burned a bridge. And, for some dumb reason, I love the improv, love the open mic. I used to go every week. They started doing an open mic out on the patio. They don't do bucket. They do a list and they kind of just they say they do list and then bucket, but they mostly kind of just put up who they want. Mm-hmm. And they're putting up the people who are like loyal to going every week.
Yeah.
But I went there for the first time and I was just curious because I like went up and I looked at the list that I signed my name up on, but it was like a new list. And so I kind of was trying to ask the host what's up. I was like, oh, what do you guys do? Like, how is this? And he's like, just keep coming back every week. And I'm like, oh, so I'm not getting up. I wanted to clarify. And he pretty much was telling me, no, you're not getting up. And then I was like, he's like, we've been doing this for months and people have been coming here every week, and I was like, oh, so is it even worth I pretty much and that was the rude thing I said, I guess, where I was like, is it even worth coming? Because at this point I'm so late to the game, I guess, because you're putting up the people who are loyal to it, and I understand that. But he took that as rude. Like, he was not happy with me at all. The guy who runs the open mic told me to come, but because I knew him, and so I came through. But I wasn't. So he came back and he's like, yeah, he kind of discussed it with me. I apologized for the impression. I was like, listen, I wasn't trying to be rude or anything. And he's like, yeah, I don't care who you know. And I'm like, I don't even fucking know where he got that from. Mm-hmm. I was like, I didn't say I knew anyone. I didn't even bring up that the guy who runs the open mic told me to come here.
He's mad because he misunderstood you. He thinks that you are basically saying, unless somebody's going to get me up, I'm not coming. That's what he thinks you're.
Right. And that's where I thought, like, yeah, that's probably a rude thing to say. But I was pretty much just like, I mean, obviously, at some point during all of that, I admitted where I was wrong in what I said to him specifically. Never said anything like, I know this person, that's why you should put me up. I also didn't tell him to put me up or ask him to put me up. I accepted that he wasn't going to. At some point, I'm like, dude, you're being the asshole.
Well, because actually what's annoying is he's misunderstanding you, where you're actually basically asking him, will I only get up if you choose to put me up?
Right, yeah.
It's a legitimate question, which it comes from... I could tell that guy, without even meeting him, is very insecure, and then he's projecting some shit towards women, especially like I'm alpha here because, you know, outside of this, the girls, they fucking disrespect me by not wanting to suck my dick, and they don't want to fuck me.
I just didn't get it at all, because like and some people brought up it was the fact that I asked to begin with. I shouldn't have even asked, but I'm like, I didn't think of anything up. I also was just... my intentions on asking I never asked to get put up. All I was asking was what the system was. I was asking if it was a list or a bucket.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea. It was my first time there. And he was like, oh, I put the people up who've been loyal to the mic and coming every week. And cool, that's great. I understand that. I understand you have to get the door guys up and you have to get all these people their stage time. I wasn't trying. I was just like, but when he was basically telling me you're not going to get up, I put up the people who've been coming. I'm like, well, is it even worth coming? Mm-hmm. And that is a valid question. Yeah. Because that was my first time going. And I'm like, well, should I even bother at that point? Mm-hmm. But anyways, yeah, and I don't, you know, God, it's weird how like far he took it. Cause he was kind of, here's the thing. I did get put up. I got put up because the guy who runs the mic told me to come, and he remembered telling me to come. Mm-hmm. And the host of the show was fighting to not put me up.
Oh my, this fucking incel.
Right. I just like, I really, it escalated so much when my intentions were just finding out if it's a list or a bucket. And then he told me I wasn't getting up. And then I was like, okay. And I'll admit I said something rude because it could be perceived that I was like bashing the thing. Like, is it even worth coming them? That wasn't what I was trying to say at all. I was just
right.
But we could go back and talk more about racism. Such like, let's talk more about hot button topic. But that was my experience, and I started to feel anxious. I was like, did I burn a bridge?
So you're not even sure if you actually burned a bridge. Or are you certain you burned a bridge?
Well, with that guy, I know he doesn't like me.
But is that guy the end all be all for that?
No, I doubt. Well, that's one of those things where you get really in your head and you're like, oh my God.
Because even if it's one person, even if they're like a nobody,
it doesn't matter.
Your brain goes into catastrophic thinking, because I do the same fucking thing.
Because you're like, are they going to tell that person, then that person's going to think,
yeah, that's what I was doing. That's what I was fucking doing. Yeah. I did it all the fucking time. It's annoying.
That was so accusatory for him to be like, I don't care who you know, because him and I both know I never brought anybody up or anyone else into this. Mm-hmm. That's the part that really bugged me, is that he was acting like I was some sort of hotshot when that was the opposite. Like, I don't I don't know.
Maybe he was intimidated by your eyes.
All right.
He was
He
like,
just wanted
yeah,
to-
because he was
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm kind of enamored by that, but
Is that
I'm not
how
a
that
simp.
works?
Actually, sometimes guys use anger and like this forced.
Well, it worked because I'm obsessed
Shit.
with him.
Right. I mean, not trying to attract the woman, but to
No.
kind of already put them in a place of self-sabotage so they get confidence through anger and resentment.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
I just was. I don't like
Why
people
did you
who are
do that?
mean to me.
No, I'm just like,
'Cause you
I'm just, guys are fucking crazy. Like we were talking about this recently. That
Oh, yeah.
Guys try to act like girls are crazy, but guys do some fucking snaky shit to like get us to like
he was
them.
like
It's
he
weird.
was using his.
Yeah.
He was trying
Power.
to, yeah, basically,
overwhelming.
dude, you fucking host an open, and great, it's at the Improv. I love the Improv, whatever. But I've also never met him before, or seen. I'm like, I don't. That was the first.
Who
time.
is you?
Who is?
like,
Who are you?
know?
Who you
even?
be?
Look, I know.
Where you at?
I know everyone in this town.
Yeah. But you know what? You know what though? We just learned something as connecting as comedian is we exaggerate our thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you on that. Again, I thought about this recently. I say it all the time. I thought about it recently. But yeah. This is not me being like a white knight, like, oh, I'm a nice guy, so ladies, hit me up because I'm being a nice guy. No, but the fact is, there's a lot of fucking psycho guys out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, there's crazy women, but there's also crazy guys. But as much as guys, especially with the red pill thing, you know, do you guys know about red pill?
No.
Okay, well that's the thing we don't need to get into, but next
Oh,
time,
why not?
because it's a long story.
Okay.
But it's this whole thing basically where guys are saying that women are completely illogical,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
a lot of men are, well, everybody's emotionally driven, but there's a lot of men out there who have no control of their emotions
Yeah.
and then act on them and then get kind of crazy and then say it's the woman's fault.
I talk about this a lot
You know?
on our podcast.
Yeah.
Or we do, actually.
So,
Yeah.
because here's what I
talk
think:
about
if you're an actual man who's centered, who's able to be in control of his emotions, then you know how to, you know, maneuver through the flurry of, because yeah, women go through a lot of emotions because of their biology,
Right.
Like it's not you know,
Right. I
So
feel like
then
I've been
you should
bringing this
understand
up so fucking much too because I've been obsessed.
obsessed.
Because I'm psycho.
Psycho.
But women are emotionally intelligent. I would argue that, and that we
Not all.
No, you're right. Not all.
Let's not
Not
say
all
let's
women.
not say all women are emotionally
That's
intelligent
right.
and all men aren't emotionally
Right.
intelligent.
No, you're right. I'm just saying that the only difference, and I said this on our podcast, between men and women is our hormones. And that's because of reproduction. Our brains aren't, but somehow because of that, men decided that they're smarter, they're funnier, they're more valuable. All we are houses to children. And our brains don't work that well. And but women are like an evolved woman, I should say, is like very in tune with her emotions, meaning when something makes her emotional, she lets herself feel those emotions. Men bottle that shit up. They aren't emotionally not always, but they aren't emotionally supportive to each other. So a man gets a woman who cares about him and offers him that emotional support, the emotional support that we offer to each other, and he does not know what to do with it because he has not practiced.
That's actually very true. I agree with that. Yeah, because it's not in the culture of manhood to do that, and that's when men get crazy. And
women get
take
abused, emotionally abused,
Well, no, I mean-
physically abused, sexually abused.
and then men can take it out on the world, you know, onto each other and get violent because what is the accepted emotion? Laughter, like happiness, and anger, but not sadness. Because if you're sad, then it's weakness,
Right.
right? So, like I've said this before on the podcast, but my dad, he would hit me more when I would cry. But if I sat there angry, just like hyperventilating because I was crying and I'm trying not to cry, and I'm like, you know, scowling, he'd look at me in pity and be like, he'd stop and be like, wash
Yeah.
your face,
Men
right? Because
were
it pissed him off
punished.
Yeah.
that I was crying, even though he's the one hitting me for no fucking goddamn reason and making me cry because I'm fucking 6,
yeah,
right? So I mean, think about
you just
how
gotta be
many
like,
other guys
"Bitch,
go
you
through
wish
that.
you could cry.
Yeah, you motherfucker. Yeah, you wish you could cry like me. You wish you were 6 years old, you know. but that is a thing. So at the end of the day, we're all fucking emotional creatures.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, men too. I don't give a fuck what you guys say. What you guys, you're not really a man. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
What do you do when your dad or your parents die? Okay, you don't get emotional. Shut the fuck up. When you get rejected, you don't get emotional. Yeah, you do, dude. Men are very emotional as well. So, stop acting like you're not.
Yeah.
And just embrace it and be real. Because when I admit to myself I'm angry or like I'm sad, I feel better. But when I suppress that and be like, just fucking power through it, it stacks up, and then I feel dead, and then I feel crazy, and then somewhere along the line I listen to a sad song, and then it's not even that sad, and then I start to like cry on the freeway when I'm driving, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Because the energy is stacked up.
Yeah.
It's funny to me too, because like I hear it a lot, and in dating, because I do comedy even more so, which I'm like, what? Where men talk about, and when I'm dating a guy, he'll call me funny, but when it comes to the topic of stand up, he'll be like, I don't think female comedians are funny, and it just makes guys saying that women aren't funny makes them look so ignorant, and it's men do this all the time. They write off things they don't understand, rather than just trying to understand it. But I was at a comedy show last night because I walked by it, and it had a good headline. It had a good headliner, and the act before him was like two really solid, funny comedians. So it was a good show. It's just, so we had all the earlier comedians, and the one woman on the lineup got brought up as, are you guys ready for a female comedian? But she fucking, as far as comedy goes, was so much more exceptional than the men preceding her. She was so much funnier. She held her own. She was a better comedian. She had probably maybe been doing it longer, but I'm like, the fact that you, like, I mean, I also the host of the show had been doing it a while. He was a funny comedian, but I'm just like, it makes the person bringing her up as a female comedian look dumb because she held her own over most of the comedians on that show.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you pre-prepping the audience to be like, prepare for this?
Right.
You guys get ready to have to sit through the next 10 minutes because this is a female comedian.
Yeah.
I do think that is a form of diminishing type of, because I've had people say that about the Asian comic. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I got a name, you bitch.
What?
Well, like
Yeah.
after I went up and I did well, and he was like, oh, give it up for the funny Asian guy. It's like, bitch, you know my fucking name.
Yeah.
Don't be fucking doing that. And he went up and he did not do good. So it's stemming from a little bit of insecurity. Because why else would just, oh, you ready for a female? Like, I get it if you, he's trying to empower. It's like, no. In that case, I'd completely disagree. Right? But if you said, oh, you know, she's super funny, one of the funniest comics I know, or like one of the funniest, like, if he said one of the funniest woman comics, that's different versus like, are you ready for a female comic? It's just kind of like it's a different type of way to do it.
Yeah.
You see, it's framing, it's sentence structure, which does, I think, reveal a lot about a way a person's thinking. So yeah, even if you didn't mean anything like really bad, there's probably a little bit of a thing. Because I mean, like, it never crossed my fucking mind or other people's minds that I know personally to ever say, you ready for the female comic, or you ready for a female? Or,
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
should know if you've been doing stand-up long
Well, I think it's funny if, like, maybe I'd be like, you ready for a white girl? We got a funny, the white girl tonight, the only white girl. Like, I think that's kind of funny versus like, give it up for the female. You know.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, you can make a joke out of it and fun, but like, make sure it's funny.
Yeah.
I've been on this interesting path in my life where I've been trying to pinpoint where I have internalized misogyny, where I've basically accepted that I have it and I understand it, and it's so silly, but like I've been trying to, be more in tune with being a woman and appreciating it about myself, rather than, one of the things has been astrology. And like, this is so dumb, but it occurred to me because I wrote off astrology. I used to say there's no way that like someone's personality just depends on what is that, happening in the stars. But I realized that like part of the reason it's valuable is it is something that connects a lot of women to other women, right? And it's something that connects
Like
people to
conversationally.
Okay, yeah. And I'm not saying that like it means that that's that person's personality, but in doing a lot of research, I've learned that like a lot of people who you wouldn't expect were really into astrology and studied a lot, like Carl Jung, or who is a psychologist. And
Wait, Carl Jung is he the one that did the Myers-Briggs? I mean, not Myers-Briggs. He's the one. He's the.
He invented AA,
the psychology
I think,
and all that shit.
Right?
He's one of the.
I know the
like
name. He's one of the
Freud's friend,
one of
right?
the guys.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys. So he believed in astrology.
Yeah, I follow Jung probably a little more than Freud.
Mhm.
But I had a psychiatrist
Why did I say
who looked like
Myers-Briggs
Freud, which is cool.
is Myers-Briggs, isn't that? Isn't that a person?
I don't know that much, but
Keep talking. I'm gonna look this up.
But I realized that part of the reason I wrote it off was because I wanted to look cooler to men, and it's something men generally wrote off. But it's something everybody wrote off because it was something they never studied on it. I was reading up on quotes and things people have said about it, and someone said in response to somebody bashing astrology is I've studied on the matter and you have not, which is true. A lot of people who kind of like bash something don't know anything about it. Like a lot of the people who say female comedians aren't funny haven't even given any a chance.
Mm-hmm.
They
I
haven't
agree.
even looked into it.
Yeah. I mean, Ali Wong's first special was one of the funniest specials I've ever seen, in my life. I was laughing out loud, like legitimately, and I will say this: there's times in the past where I thought the same thing. Like I was like, no, because a lot of people said it, and let's be honest here. There's some comics that are female comics that are super hot, and they're not that funny. So it's easy to say every hot comic that's a female is not funny, or
Right.
that's just the only reason why. So it's easy to logically put that together, especially if it's like what people are saying, right? But dude, there's a lot of funny female comics out there that I have seen personally, and that are pretty well known,
Right.
But we can also be real here. Is there are some female comics that do get further ahead because they're beautiful, and they might not be the funniest, and we can also say on the other side, there's a lot of male comics that aren't fucking funny, that just happen to know the right people,
Right?
and have whatever else fucking qualities. I'm not sure what it is, but there's a ton of male comics where I'm like, I don't get this guy's shit. I don't think it's funny.
Yeah.
So it's both sides.
Yeah.
Also, who cares? Who even fucking knows?
Yeah.
That really hot female comedian who got further ahead than anyone expected just based on being hot might get funny because of all the stage time I've seen that happen before, where some people get more stage time than they deserve initially, and because of that they get hilarious. I feel like Theo Vaughn is so fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's funny.
He is a great comedian. I don't even think he did open mics. He rode his Road Rules fame into doing stand-up comedy. So he used his fame to start doing comedy before he was ready. But I think because he got all that stage time, even though he probably didn't start out that good and he got more opportunities than he deserved, he still got funny. He still like ended up doing the work. I
Yeah,
guess it's a matter of like appreciating your opportunity and utilizing it.
Also, who fucking cares? Like, just be happy for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
people
what
don't
is-
like.
I don't get that. Like, I don't. Why are you concerned with how people get things? If the girl's hot and she got something, good for her. Who fucking cares? I don't.
Yeah. Before, when I would think like that, that's because I was very uncertain of myself, and I didn't have confidence in myself. So I would look at other people and try to figure out reasons why they got to where they're at, or why things are working for them in a negative way. But where I'm at now, and I'm in a much better mental place, and I'm actually like confident in myself because I have that self-love for me. I don't have to mentally bring people down in my mind to justify why it's working for them and not for me.
Yeah.
And stand-up comedy is one of those unique things where it's interesting to me that people get like jealous of each other, because it's like that person's success is in no way suppressing yours.
That's so true.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's
so
exactly
true.
what I mean.
But we
yeah.
act like it does.
Right.
Especially the guys, a lot.
But it's just like it's
a lot of
bitterness.
guys.
It's just bitterness where it's like
That's
I'm like
so fucking true.
that person. The only person standing in your way right now is you.
Yeah, literally.
Get out of your own way.
Yeah.
You need
No,
to get
for
out
real.
of my way.
God,
I
get
was
out of
reading.
your own
I read a
way.
book recently called The Master of Self, and it I forget the word, but there was a word that's like in part of the Buddhism religion that was basically, the definition was like, it starts with an M. I don't remember. It's on my phone somewhere, but the definition was to be happy for others' success, right? Because like, it's you being bitter is just stopping you more. Like, what is that? The more you attract like happiness and like being, you know, supportive of other people, the more they're gonna want to have you around. You're going to attract things for yourself because you're not only are you genuinely happy for them, but you are, I don't like the word using, but you're using it as motivation for yourself versus feeling threatened.
Yeah.
And
also
hateful
those are the
towards this
people
person.
who could likely help you.
Right.
Stand up is a big part of it is helping other people. And I'm sorry that like hot people get helped a lot, which is true. That's just kind of the accurate. It's not they have a platform because they're hot. It's like, no, people like pay attention to them because they have an attribute that like people that strikes people's attention. Like they get attention. I mean,
good looking, fucking handsome guys, they get attention and
I get that
shit
like
because they're good looking. Basically,
like,
good looking people, it does help.
yeah, no, of course it
does help.
does.
Yeah.
Well, but it's also being good looking is just a commodity to have as a human.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'd say I know people who want to hate on people or who are bitter for people getting things because they're like, she's not even that funny, she's just hot, or he's not even that funny, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you don't even actually know this person because I know them personally and they work their fucking ass off, actually.
Yeah. Like a lot of comedians, like I think Bobby Lee and I don't remember who else said, but they said that Whitney Cummings is one of the hardest working comedians that they've ever
I love
like.
Whitney. Yeah.
Like, you know, they vouch for her,
Yeah.
but anybody could say it's just because she's attractive and all that. But you know, I remember they were talking about she has a fucking spreadsheet of just a bunch of things. When they were talking about it, I was like, that's a lot of work. Like even just that's not even talking about all the other stuff she may be doing, right?
Yeah.
It's what you do with the opportunity you're given. And yeah, sometimes
And how you treat people. too.
and I can understand where like a good looking person might fail there because things have always come easy to them.
Like
So they sort of
spoon-fed a little bit,
so people are kind of handing them things and they're kind of squandering it because they're used to things being handed to them for being good. But I mean, somebody shouldn't be like, I don't know, I don't think anyone's work should be demeaned. I mean, because that's so assuming, right? Where someone just assumes that Whitney got to where she got because she was an exceptionally attractive person pursuing it, when it's like that may have helped, but it was where she applied herself that made her, you know, one of
otherwise every hot
arguably
woman
one
would
of
be
the most
fucking famous, right?
It's funny how some things are kind of factual though, without me like being a hater, because like Pete Davidson's special, I think we all can agree, pretty much everyone can agree, it
was
wasn't
trash.
good. But he is fucking funny.
He is funny.
Yeah.
The thing is that here's the thing. If he was at the Ice House performing, or if I saw him at a mic, I would be like, oh, he's going to make it someday. He's funny. But the thing is, because he's already Pete Davidson on SNL and he just got a special without really like crafting stand up, then it just wasn't good. You know what I mean? But like if I saw him performing with a group of open micers, I would be like, oh, he's gonna get to that level
Because you can see the
eventually.
potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Just like people are good looking, people are funny, and people are offered things or handed things because they're like, you're funny, I see potential, and they still squander it because even though they're funny,
True.
they don't apply themselves in the way they should. So they
It's like wasted talent.
right. It's everyone's worst enemy is themselves. I just think that we all have our advantages and disadvantages and things to overcome. It comes down to applying yourself. In general, as a human, the only person standing in your way is you.
Well, I used to for a while, and I'd say actually that book helped a lot, but I used to compare myself so much to other comedians, like any male, female, whatever. I was just.
Did you ever compare yourself to me?
Bashing myself.
No, I'm just kidding.
But no, it was like, I really did, you know, because I was like, oh, this person's getting this and they're my age and like I still haven't. I was just, and it wasn't even like a hater, like, oh, they suck. It wasn't even about like them. It was just like the opportunity that I was like jealous of. And I'm just like, at this point, I don't do that anymore because like I am who I am. I'm the only Kelly Jean Brown, right? And I bring something. So, you know, your time comes and opportunities happen when they're supposed to.
You know how late Alan Rickman hopped into the acting game? There are so many people who started acting when there were so many people who started comedy.
Wait, are we talking Professor Snape?
Yes.
When did he start?
Oh my God, he might have been 40. I think he might have been 40 when he started.
When he started?
No, he might have done. I don't know. Because I just know that he was. I know that I some actors started later than
Peter Dinklage started at 28.
Yeah. See.
That's
and he did a speech where he was like, he was about to cry. He was getting so emotional. He's like, I implore. He's like, please, don't wait.
Yeah.
Don't wait like me, because he was in his own way up to that point.
Right. That's the thing about time. Time's an interesting thing because the people who have the most of it understand it the least.
Facts.
So it's really easy. It's kind of like I've been having the conversation about kids because I don't feel like I right now want kids. Like I just don't picture that for myself. And I was talking to my dad about that. And he said, if I didn't have kids right now, I wouldn't have anything. And my dad's like a successful dude. So I'm like, but it's because it's a different perspective on things from that side than it is here, where I have all kinds of time. And, you know, whereas like he really appreciated that he had kids. And some people get older and then they might have wished they had. In the time they spent. It's kind of like with college. I chose not to go to college. I don't necessarily regret my decision to not go to college. However, the years I spent, the years I would have spent in college, I really didn't do that much with it.
Same.
I studied acting, but like I really kind of just squandered those years feeling sorry for myself. Feeling sorry for myself for feeling stupid, you know? And so I'm kind of like, I could have easily gone to college, had a degree, don't even need to necessarily be doing things with it. But instead I chose to, you know, just exist for like
Squander.
4 years. Yeah. I barely remember. What did I do?
No,
with those? I was in
the same.
relationships. I was in shitty relationships.
I just stopped planning my life because I used to be so hard on myself.
Like the 5-year plan, 10-year plan shit.
And it's just like, that's not, it's just not healthy to like have to have this timeline for yourself on things, you know, like things happen when they're supposed to.
Yeah. And things happen even when you don't plan them to happen.
Yeah.
Like bad things included, good things, whatever. Like you can't predict your fucking life.
Yeah.
So I used to feel guilty that I couldn't plan 5 years. They're like, what's your 5 years? Do you know when people would say that to me? Like these fucking finance fuckers. And now when people ask me that, I'm like, there is no plan.
Yeah.
And then they'll look at me like, what? And I'm like, dude, do you know where you're going to be in 5 years from now? What if you fucking die? What if you're on your deathbed and all you did for 5 years was plan how to make more money and you're miserable? And they're like, oh, yeah, you know, because it's true. And it's not even just that, but like you don't I almost got killed by a tree. A tree felt like fucking almost crushed me. I didn't plan for that. I was just walking at a college campus. It almost killed me. So many things you can't plan for. And like you said, things come as they come. and you just do what you can with whatever you have in control, which is just trying to get it out
have
of your
to
way
just
as much as
keep
possible and being in
forward momentum.
keep just fucking trekking forward. Just keep trekking forward.
Because time is still going, no matter, it's not waiting for you. It's just going to keep moving forward. So you ought to move forward with it.
Well, stop. And yeah, that was my whole thing with like, I need to stop planning, is like being so hard on yourself and just enjoy what you want in the moment. Like, this is a little slightly off topic, but
find presence.
A quote that, well, yeah, but a quote that really touched me was Will Smith has this quote where he's like, people all the time asked me, you know, while I was like becoming an actor, what my plan B was. And I told them I don't have a plan B. This is my plan. And I tell people that all the time, like, or when I was younger, you know, they're like, well, what's your backup plan? And I've realized, fuck you. I don't have a backup plan because this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Why can't I make it happen? I can. So fuck you and your like realistic
When I was
views.
in 9th grade, I had a school project where we had to do a project based on what we wanted to be when we got older and graduated college. And I hated the idea of doing it. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't want to have to think about it. I picked like journalism or something, forced myself to work through this project and somehow put something together about something I was completely disinterested in. And got up there and had to present it to my class with just not an ounce of heart in it. And I remember another student commented on how bad it was.
Damn.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever. Yeah, no, that's not an easy thing to hear by any means. But I've because you don't have a plan B. Live your life. Like, I would rather fail pursuing something I wanted than to just succeed and pass the days knowing that I let that go.
Yeah. What? Because you like,
and like plan B, I literally couldn't even pull myself through a project to make up a plan B.
Well, that's what the whole, you know, people want to like have this stability and this like, you know, picket fence and everything. It's like, that's fine if it works for you. But first of all, I've known, I am lucky in the sense that I've known my whole life what my passion is, but I feel most alive and most fulfilled when I am pursuing that. So to me, that is more important than having just a figured out, planned, stable.
Well, that's not even stable. People say it's stable. That's not stable. It sounds stable based off of what we were taught and conditioned to believe is stable.
Yeah.
But these people that are stable aren't stable. Why? Nobody's fucking stable.
Right.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey has a great graduation speech where he tells the story of his dad.
Oh, yeah.
And how his dad was so funny and really wanted to be a comedian and always dreamed of being a comedian, but he took the safe route and he got into finance because he wanted to be able to, you know, survive and get by. And when Jim Carrey was 12, he got let go from his job. And his whole family struggled to make money from then on. And his father still took the safe route. So he's like, not even that is guaranteed. So you might as well fail doing the thing you love.
Damn, that was verbatim.
Yeah. No,
I saw him say it with this fucking
Yeah.
fucking graduation cap thing. That was verbatim.
It wasn't
that was
verbatim,
good. And the
but
way
it
he
was-
said it, it got me emotional a bit because it was so like, I was like, Jim? Are you here?
But
Are you
it's
here, Jim?
but
It's true. It's very fucking true.
It is. You got to stop caring.
I could not put my heart into things I don't love.
No, same.
Like I just simply could not do it.
It's like hard enough for me to like have like day jobs when I'm trying to pursue stand up, but still have, you know, still get that like at the end of the night.
Because
I still
there's
get
just something you would rather
but
be
it's
doing.
like
the
I'd
whole
rather
time.
be doing this full time, you know, getting the recognition for this as my day-to-day job.
Yeah.
You know?
It's more rewarding, even when it goes bad.
And that's
Yeah.
why I don't fuck with that shit when people are like, I actually don't like the saying when people are like, sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, yeah, when you're 15, like, yeah, you got to just work and like, you know, you got like, don't be a brat. You have to figure out, you have to learn what it means to work. Yes. You're not going to always do what you love. But when you become an adult and all you're doing is complaining about your job when you could probably be doing something that fulfills you, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I just, I just sometimes have to suck it up and, do what I don't want to do. No, fuck it. I should do what makes me happy.
Yeah, but me for years up to 28. Well, I'm turning 32 in July, by the way. 28 and doing things I didn't want to do, thinking I had to do them. It pushed me to doing what I do now and let me know 100% I don't want any of that shit.
Yes.
So on the other side of that, if you look at it from that angle, it is kind of a necessity, but also there's a point where it's like, how long are you going to keep lying to yourself?
Right.
So out of fear, I kept lying to myself. But if I was able to actually admit it, like kind of what you're saying, then it would have been a couple years earlier.
Well, I just mean in the sense, obviously, like,
no, I agree with you too.
Obviously, you have to have a day job to get by. I'm adding
to what you're saying. It's the same.
No, I know you are. I just want to make sure that it comes off. Like, obviously, I'm not in any privilege to not work. Like, I have to work. I have to get by. I'm not making enough money off stand-up to it be a full-time career yet. But I'm just saying that I could choose the route to be like, oh, well, you know what? I'm just going to get a job permanently that I'm not pursuing stand-up at all because I'm not making anything from it. And then I could just complain about my life forever because I'm not doing what I love. But instead, I'm trying to pursue something that does bring me happiness.
I mean, or you could have wine nights with the girls and just complain.
Yeah, no, not my style.
Just pop some kids out with a guy who's stable and get stuck.
Yeah, and then resent him because he's doing all the extra duties and house shit, and you're like, he's not even a man. Fuck it, I'm gonna fuck the pool boy in the garden. Yeah, because he's got nice forearms.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the pool boy. He's got a tan. Actually, the gardener has a tan too, but the pool boy has a better one because he was wearing a shirt. Actually, never mind. I don't know.
He might be wearing a tank top.
I'm so lost.
Gardeners, but okay.
It's early and I'm hungover.
Yeah, but you know what? This is a great episode. Every time we hang out, we have great conversations.
Yeah, we do.
And then flow naturally.
We're so compatible.
We need to do this sketches.
We're compatible, yeah. I was thinking about that too. I was like, we should do some more stuff together.
Yeah.
And some other sketches and stuff. And dude, we have every color of the rainbow here. Actually.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but actually, if this was an actual color of the rainbow, it'd be fucking disgusting. I'm like, where's the purple and the red? But you know what? This is the real life rainbow.
This is some Reading Rainbow vibes. This is Reading Rainbow. I feel like we're like the face of Reading Rainbow right now.
Fuck racism.
Well, because we're all truly deep down in our hearts the same and connected to each other.
The string of life.
Yeah, apparently you're somewhat black.
Oh yeah,
maybe we're related.
Black. Yeah, but yeah, we'll figure that out. But guys, please plug in your social medias.
Okay, mine's Kelly_J_Brown, and then our podcast is Slightly Bitter Pod on Instagram.
And my Instagram handle is Julia Machin, MACHIN.
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 Machine.
It's machine without the E at the end.
Machine without the E. Like Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly. That should have been our pod name.
Would you hit it, Machine Gun Kelly?
No. Yeah. I'd hit Pete Davidson. Not hit, but like hit.
Wait. Why not Machine Gun Kelly? Because he's tall too. I think he's good looking,
I'm not into blondes.
Yeah, he's decent.
I like darker
What if he dyed his hair?
Which
he also dresses like a 12-year-old like punk boy. I don't like his style. I'm just not attracted to him in any way. I feel like if he was
standing next to you and you see him in his 6'5" glory, you'd be like, hey, Machine Gun Kelly.
I don't like he's not my type at all. I don't like his features. I don't like his hair. I don't like his clothing. His music is kind of not great. Nothing really attracts me about him. Pete Davidson, on the other hand, hot, funny, seems smart and down to earth.
I think he's actually pretty smart and down to earth. It seems like,
both guys pulled pretty sick ass chicks.
Yeah, that's true. They both do get hella hot.
I mean, like Megan Fox for Machine Gun Kelly, and then for Pete Davidson, not only Ariana Grande, but Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah,
What
he
in the
pulls-
She's
world?
older
He
and
pulls
sexy.
chicks.
Yeah. Oh
Dude.
my God. Like timelessly sexy.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, you want to go out on a date sometime?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad died in 9/11.
I
you know,
don't
it's
even
just-
know. He is such a funny dude. I
is really
feel like
funny.
he was given a lot of opportunity, and he admitted to it too. I think.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
he
he's
is-
openly
he's
spoken on
funny.
it.
He is
Yeah,
funny.
that he was like.
As long as they're
he
honest
should have
about
done-
it.
Yeah.
When people are honest about it,
Yeah.
they know.
Yeah.
Then capitalize on it and make use of it. You know, fuck it.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck it, dude.
I
Yeah.
think that's important, and which means it makes me think he has a future. He still has a future, and he
Oh,
still.
dude, I saw
regardless-
what King of Staten
fact-
Island. That was
Oh my God, it
and
was
a
so
fantastic.
good.
That made
It
me a
was
fan
so
of him because
good.
I was kind of like whatever about him before.
Oh, and I love Bill Burr in it.
yeah, Bill Burr did a great job, dude. He did his acting was
Yeah.
spot on. That was perfect for him
I'm
in
getting
that movie.
chills. It's gonna make
It
me
was.
want
I would
more.
actually rewatch it. Like I might rewatch
No,
it
I
because
will
it was.
eventually.
It was
I haven't seen it.
funny. It was deep. It was touching. It made me think about my life, and I saw it on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I need to rewatch it at home, just like absorbing. You know what? I think I'll watch a little bit of it.
I am a little
This week.
bummed because I feel like if him and I met, I don't know him, so I need to chill on the
Okay, let's
creepiness.
pretend right now. I'll be Pete Davidson. Let's
I-
do.
Oh,
Let's,
God.
before we wrap up, let's try
I
it.
feel like we would connect.
Yeah, you want to? What do you mean? You want to hang out and
I'm down.
there's a mall down the street if you want to go to a mall.
Aw.
There's a mall. Right
I feel like he has a little more. He has a little
Dude.
more class than that.
Speaking of pool boys, I really liked his pool boy sketch on SNL. I
don't know that
liked
one.
Pete Davidson on SNL, like the
fucking
early
funny,
years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just not as special.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna give it back to Mike. Hey guys, so that was Pete Davidson. Thanks, Pete. Yeah, whatever. All right. So this has been another great episode of the Setbreaker podcast with Kelly and Julia. So until then, I will see you on the next episode. So peace out.
Bye, assholes.
Bye.
Bye. Misogyny rules.
Ah.